Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to your weekly dose of newsy infotainment. It's Let's Be Treasonable, coming to you from the luxurious studios of Radio Titans in Los Angeles for our first show after the primaries, so we're secondary. Your cognitive dissidents on the panel this week are comedian, actor, raconteur, juggler of objects and words, Mr. Jim Coughlin.
Hello.
Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Also joined this week by author, performance artist, and resistrix, Erika Schickel.
Heidi ho, all of ya.
Hey, good to see you as well. And as always, we are joined by comedian bon vivant and always the black voice of reason, Mr. Tymon Shipp.
Hi, power to the people. Good to be here with you guys.
Good to see you. Very excited to have our original recipe extra crispy panel here today. It's like founding family week.
Family week, yes.
So very excited about that. And it wouldn't be a family gathering without our fifth panelist, the illustrious five-time Emmy nominee, joining us via the magic of pre-recorded sound and telephony. It is this week's Burst of Durst from Will Durst.
Hey guys, Will Durst here with a few choice words about the president's wacky team of lawyers. They recently wrote a letter to the special counsel's office saying that Donald Trump is above the law. Not to be confused with the first Steven Seagal movie, Above the Law, although they both look to be about in the same physical condition these days. The lawyers say the president cannot commit obstruction of justice because as chief law enforcement officer of the United States, he is the Justice Department. I am the law. The president himself tweeted out that many legal scholars say he has the absolute right to pardon himself, even though he won't need to because he hasn't committed any crimes. Like a get-out-of-jail-free card, only different. He's King Donald. Laws are for losers. Claims to have special powers, making him immune from committing a crime. Apparently, he was bitten by a radioactive spider at Camp David. What he might say is that everything he told the public was a lie, but it wasn't under oath, so it doesn't count, which is what many of us suspected from the start. His story has shifted more than the sands of the Kalahari during one of those windstorms they call a haboob. And speaking of boobs, another of his lawyers, Rudy Giuliani, says the deep state is framing the president, and he might take the fifth if any of the questions about crimes he didn't commit get too close to the truth. They're throwing up different defenses like hyperactive monkeys flinging feces at a zoo. Not only can't he be constitutionally prosecuted, but the prosecution is a conspiracy. Can't wait for them to float a diminished capacity defense. That one wouldn't be hard to sell. For Let's Be Treasonable, I'm Will Durst.
Thank you very much, Will. Some good points there. It has been a crazy week, and you know the thing that we've seen from the campaign to today. What is this? Day 506 of
something like that.
Yeah, just hell. But what it's going to take, and to show him that. Yeah, he is accountable, is for the Republicans in Congress to stand up.
It will never happen.
Nope,
Right,
that's
exactly.
They have no legs.
The latest is the senator, the Democrat. I'm sorry. Well, this is on the other side, but the Democratic senator from West Virginia says he might support Trump in 2020.
Oh, Manchin.
Oh, John. Yeah.
Yes. Meanwhile, you have Mitt Romney, who said he was a con man, now saying that he thinks he'll easily win the nomination of the presidency in 2020.
See, one question, because I've read that, and the one thing that I didn't get was the inflection. Because,
right.
That's an important thing.
He believes that he'll win, but isn't for it.
Yeah, he may not be too happy about it, or it may just be, Mormon resignation. Well, he's going to be president again.
Right.
Nothing like that righteous, stiff-backed Mormon principle that he relies on again and again.
Yeah.
Right. Then you have Ted Cruz, who supports Trump, as far as I can tell. And he only accused his father of helping to assassinate Kennedy and basically retweeted something that implied that his wife was ugly.
How ugly is she?
So there's no there
No
for the
there.
Republicans to go. Now the red line. So this idea that if he does this, then they'll say no more.
Yeah,
will never happen.
Yeah.
Meghan McCain, not that she's a politician, but she's the daughter. She was chastising the Eagles for not wanting to go to the White House. They can all fucking burn in hell. And I don't even know if you could count on Jeff Flake to do the right thing. I don't know.
No,
maybe.
absolutely
well,
not.
as soon as he's out of office, he'll be doing plenty of the right thing.
Once he has no power to actually do anything, then he's going to get
all
mouthy.
over it.
And
I'm sure.
And Paul Ryan at least saying something about
Spygate isn't real.
Spygate isn't real. But then it's like, but you also decided you're not running again.
Well,
and also, how low is the bar that stating facts and agreeing with the obvious truth is there's a great Hosanna. Paul Ryan's coming around. No, he's not coming around.
Suddenly he's a truth teller.
Why are they all? They know Trump is full of it. Why are they backing him?
Because it's keeping them in.
It's because
it's keeping them in power.
Everything else.
There is no spine. The Republican Party has lost its core.
Well, they have no moral
spine.
compass. I mean, not that they ever did, but that
I disagree with that.
always,
I actually disagree with that. The
There,
Republican
you go
Party
further
once did
back.
have a moral compass.
Pre-Reagan, maybe.
Yeah, and
Right.
yet even now,
Or
Reagan
pre-Nixon.
looking like, that we had Reagan in office
Right.
now, because at least he was firm. At least he stood with our allies. And
One of my favorite scenes in a movie, Top Secret, when Val Kilmer's character is, he's you're late for the test, and he runs into the classroom and he's freaking out, and then the screen gets all wavy, and it was just a dream, and he's actually being tortured in an East German prison. He's like, oh, thank God,
Right. And by the way, I'm not to derail this, but
No.
I think the we just should forget about the impeachment, because
no, that's never happening.
The at this current or the next in 2018 Maine election, only 9 Republican senators are up for election. So, and to impeach and then prosecute for that impeachment, it takes 67 Senate votes. There's no way we'll be there, and there's no way that they'll find 6 or 7 Republicans with the backbone to.
I don't know. I think it really. I mean, on at face value, I totally agree with you, but things are gradually getting worse, and I think
there are unknowns.
Not for the party at large, but for individual senators, they may have that proverbial come to Jesus moment where it's like, Jesus Christ,
listen,
we've let the cows
if we have a
way
majority, then and these people are surrounded, because I really think that what distinguishes them is, as we are saying, their utter spinelessness. Right? They follow political expediency, and they want re-election, and if and they go with whatever is the prevailing.
It's like the Blob.
I
really.
think it could
it's
change.
like a spineless
If the
mass
culture changes,
that just moves together.
Well,
but the thing is,
giving me a little hope.
And here's the problem for me, because
Maybe I'm being
no.
optimistic.
I think you are a little bit, because
I am. I know.
The one thing that the Democrats have not been able to do for really, it seems like the last 20 years, is unite. Even when, Obama in the White House and the Democrats had both houses of Congress, they couldn't pull their shit together. And that's the one thing,
Let's remember, though, how long that we had that situation. I mean, that was 2010. There were 2 years in which we held all the cards, and I mean, a lot did get done in the first 2 years.
Yeah, no, a lot did get done, but a lot more could have been done.
But we were asleep at the fucking wheel, and we were not paying attention to what was happening.
It's not being asleep at the wheel. It's consciously, and a lot of liberals get lost in the details. Mm-hmm. And, like for the last election, all these fucking morons who, whatever you think about Hillary Clinton, fine, But if you do not recognize that she would be a much better president than Donald Trump, that the nation is going to be in much better hands.
Of course.
Oh, man, no, emails and Bernie got screwed, so fuck her. Well, fuck her turned into fuck all of us, so fuck you.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree.
And that's why I'm running for... No.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's
speech.
something so much larger than that happening, though, and so much farther reaching than just like Republicans and Democrats and who's in office at what point, you know? I mean, now we have all this, you know, evidence of stuff happening with the Republicans and Manafort and Kalimnik going back to 2005. You know, the Republicans have been infiltrated and working with the GRU for a while now.
Yeah.
And so I think what's happening is this is becoming a global story, not necessarily an American story.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we're seeing it borne out at the G7 summit this weekend.
Absolutely. And huge, in black and white.
I mean,
It's
but what
amazing.
makes them think, though, what really blows me away is that, you know, everyone says, well, you know, we're America and we're this. We have disrespected so many different countries when we go over, and it's that crazy white boy that goes over to these different countries and just think that you can bully people and we're America. You got to learn how to, we disrespect cultures. We do all kinds of stupid shit. And then we wonder why. I mean, this guy is basically, this patriotism thing that we always hear. We're prostituting this country off easily. We're selling it off. I mean, you can see how things are. And the American public is getting screwed.
What are we selling it off to? You know, what do you think it's being sold off to? And I think what's happening is that it's the global shift towards just oligarchy and you know,
exactly.
Trump is legitimizing, you know, North Korea and Kim Jong-un and you know,
Vladimir Putin.
Trying to get Putin turning the G7 into the G8.
See, but I mentioned this to Jim before the show. I personally, I think that was meant as a distraction. I mean, I think truly Trump does want him in there, but he figured if I drop this bomb on my way to the conference, they are going to have time to get riled up about it. So when I get there, it's going to be all about that. What the fuck do you want to bring Putin in for, rather than, hey, about these bullshit tariffs?
Well, I don't think that they are for a minute fooled. And also, he is walking out of the conference a day early before any of the environmental stuff is discussed, which means he's essentially abandoning it.
Well, if that wasn't obvious through the fact that Scott Pruitt still has a job, that the environment has been abandoned.
To go to her point that they're turning everything over to the oligarchs and where they're going. Do you remember the American dream? Where is that? Where is the American dream? I mean, it was all it was a saying. It was a thing, because it used to be that if a person bought a home, it would change their life. You can't more. Okay, you can't. People are trying to make do with just living. Period.
I'm looking for a really good tent.
Yeah,
that I can retire to.
I saw some nice ones on the drive over here. You know,
people are buying those pull trailers where they can just get an old truck to something they could pull or whatever. But I'm just saying, you know, when I see where, you know, the money's going, every time you hear this patriotism, and the jackasses who follow Trump don't even see, dude, he's screwing you. You're not going to get any. You're not on his level. He doesn't really care about you.
You know what? They don't use, you know, rational means to measure where they're at. They just figure if the liberals are pissed off, it's working.
Oh.
Yep. It's just hate. It's just
it's
straight up.
It's hate and ignorance, and that's a dangerous mix.
Yeah, and you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, because I want to move on to the next topic, because Tymon, you mentioned the American people. That dream is playing on a professional sports team, and we saw this week with the disinvitation to the Philadelphia Eagles, disinviting them from the White House, that this NFL scandal, you know, and again, it's another thing that I think it's bullshit that Trump is throwing up so to distract us from the real evil that's happening behind the scenes. But to say that is to deny that this is also really evil. Trump's war with the NFL and his and the Fox